Greetings and welcome back to Cardano Coin, where you can find the most latest and fascinating ADA news. You may enter to win 1000 ADA by viewing the entire video, upvoting, subscribing, and leaving a comment that says Cardano is king. The winners will be chosen the following month and announced on the channel's community page. Events involving the Cardano hard fork are unique and unusual. With technical advancements and the most recent hard fork event, they support network improvement. Vasil's hard fork has been postponed. I'll discuss what that implies for Cardano. While ADA is on the verge of something amazing, we must exercise caution. Greetings and welcome to Cardano Coin, everyone. Many thanks for stopping by. When should we not exercise caution in the cryptocurrency market, similar to when a bull market reaches its all-time highs then capitulates? We must constantly exercise caution. Final testing has caused a few additional weeks of delay for the Vasil hard fork. Additionally, we must guarantee that the SPODAP developers' exchanges are prepared for it. And it's just from my observation of technical teams building and launching products. I said that this action is typical for creating trustworthy and secure systems. I'm aware that some people will object to it. Therefore, if you're whining, stop it, and I simply want to remind everyone that this is just technology. I would estimate that 90 to 95% of those working in the cryptocurrency industry are not engineers. As an engineer, I'm not. As a result, I read comments and individuals who just say, "Man, they're absolutely incredible. Unbelievable." What is that? I hear you ask. Like? Why? Why are there crypto keyboard warriors who aren't even aware of the requirements for creating this novel technology? And when we talk about Cardano, we're referring to these extreme combinator occurrences. This is not a regular blockchain fork, where the system is essentially restarted and forking protocols are used. This shift seems smooth. Technology like this is insane. It's a lot of fun. Therefore, it's kind of like, relax, like, let's just calm out and let things happen when we have minor delays of like, a few weeks. And that is an improvement. This is fairly great, I guess. So let's ensure that it is correct. If there are bugs, let them take care of them. Furthermore, it is what it is. However, it's really not a huge problem. I genuinely don't believe it is. However, I am aware that there are others who have invested in Cardano. There are individuals tracking it. People have been making news about it. And I understand that people expect timelines and certain dates. However, we're in a brand new industry with cutting-edge technologies like Cardano. Particularly cautious, they are cautious and want to do the task correctly. So I say, I don't mind if it takes a few more weeks. This is starting to make things a little bit more interesting as we move on to the charts. Because I've been keeping track of these hard fork occurrences and the data related to them, this is sort of boosting the charts for me. And specifically, ADA only regards this change as relevant to these occurrences, is that right? I should clarify that none of this data was collected during a bad market. This is probably the reason I'm most interested in monitoring what occurs in this box, which is about 60 days before the hard fork. One thing I've really been keeping an eye on with these hard forks is how ADA has sort of separated from and overextended from the green line representing the 20-week moving average, and how these hard forks have just made an explosive move above that line. Strangely, a hard fork was in the window. Right now, we are unsure of the precise date. I drove it ahead, and I'll keep an eye on it, but I move it along. ADA, meanwhile, is not even close to receiving separation after 20 weeks of traveling hours. So now we have some really fascinating data to add to what we already know about these hard fork occurrences. Therefore, is that correct? So, we're going to keep watch and see what occurs in the upcoming weeks. It's noteworthy because it's happening at the same time as the S&P 500 index, which is moving in this direction. This is a daily chart that is really breaking on the short term, or rather, the short to mid-term Fibonacci lower high. It's going to be fascinating to wait to see what happens tomorrow, because really closing, I don't believe I realized this closing over this Fibonacci resistance channel just above the 786. But as this is going on, we're observing how markets are slightly rallying despite interest rate increases and inflationary concerns. I believe this is partly because everything has already been priced in, so if this rally continues, we must keep a very close eye on traditional markets and sentiment, but if it does so at this point, I believe it will be for the best since the VASIL hard fork has been postponed and moved a little bit into the future. As a result, markets are expected to remain positive over the next weeks. People are acting quite bullishly on an emotional level. There is a move, and you can see it in the emotion and the headlines. This may be useful for 8 people at an undetermined cost, but keeping track of it will be really intriguing. I also want to draw attention to this MACD cross that occurred this week. We've followed it, and it occurred when a MACD crossed a signal line. However, if you focus on Bitcoin's individual MACD, you'll notice that no MACD cross has occurred above the signal line. And I'd want to see some additional coins. Not only is it true of Bitcoin, but also of other currency. Still not there. But what if they all arrive there precisely when Cardano notices that the MACD is correctly crossing the signal line? What if everybody arrives there? What if that is the start of the actual bull rally? We can't call it a bull run, buddy, because the market is still in bear market shape and we need to exercise extreme caution. But what if Bitcoin also sees a breakout for ADA on the weekly chart? However, the big week is still 3 days and an hour away when we glance at this candle. However, take a look at this candle's size thus far. This is ridiculous, like a 14% candle for ADA. 8 is not moving, to the dismay of many. Simply put, 8 isn't moving. Why is number 8 not moving, if you're commenting on that? Why do you say that to everyone? The most of the time, I just sort of ignore it. But I honestly want to know, why are you acting this way? What asset class, and perhaps 8, is not now rising as much as magic? I understand. There are still 3 days remaining in this weekly candle, so what does this mean? It's absurd that there is already a move that is 15% volatile, or even 15% volatile. As a result, sometimes all you can do is wait and be patient. Yes, Cryptus has its seasons. You may recall a season with 2 heads during which it ran and nothing else did. They also take some time to arrive, but you simply need to have patience. Despite being based on weekly data, the 200-week moving average at about 55 cents is significant. Another, what does it look like from a price range perspective? Everyone is still facing an upward move of 8 to 10%, so even if ADA moves, we must still exercise extreme caution. In this massive decline, these resistance zones are significant. The following section of the video is arguably the most crucial since it details how the daily chart we discussed tracked lower highs, a downward trend, and a failure to maintain above these moving averages. The 20-day moving average is shown in green, followed by the 50-day moving average in blue. Its failure to ascend, take a look at that resistance there. No assistance there. Resistance there, no support here, and no support anywhere else, as if it were business as usual. We have so been monitoring this attempt to get above the 2. And now allow me to close the distance. We've been keeping an eye on them because it's kind of a big event when it occurs. We've been watching for the bullish confirmation, where there would be support, and we've waited and followed the 20-day moving average as it prepares to cross the 50-day moving average, but it hasn't yet. However, you've seen my most recent videos discussing ADA going down to at the very least challenge the 20-day moving average along this path. Good news thus far, we sort of whipped beneath it, but excellent wicks and buying pressure immediately to the upside even above the 50-day moving average are so close. And now we're standing here with a daily candle. And you only have around 30 minutes left of the daily candle to watch this film. What kind of volatility or downward test will we witness, basically? Or will there be even greater distance from this region? You can see right there that Cardano hasn't even truly broken this trend of lower short-term highs. That will be intriguing, but what I want to do is just build a picture of what will happen when the 20-day sale takes place. A strong move for ADA to consider back here in July 2021 would be the 20-day moving average crossing over the 50-day. Will this swing low ADA from July to August? You can see that the 20-day moving average has surpassed the 50-day moving average. And because it corresponds with the daily MACD, I want to draw attention to anything. Consequently, you can just make out the MACD, or daily MACD, when ADA was breaking out, or perhaps somewhat earlier. After crossing the signal line, the MACD and signal lines on the histogram eventually start to rise above zero. Am I correct? Currently, the migration is beginning, roughly in the first week of August. Let's examine the chart now. I'm not sure why I can't access the chart for the first week of August. We're there. No. And, well, not everyone watches my edited vids. So, please be patient with me as I explain this. A powerful blast-off hasn't happened yet, but he's about to happen when the MACD line and signal line were crossing above the histogram in the first week of August. So ADA was right around here, right? Check this out on that MACD, no breakout yet, like MACD is cruising, MACD is like, but and we're seeing the higher highs and higher lows on a daily, really cool chart to actually look at. I bring this up because it's crucial, and I'm almost afraid to open this chart off the MACD line if we go to the MACD. The MACD line and the signal line are now visible just above the histogram and upper momentum, and we can observe higher highs and higher lows that are comparable to what we saw in July. Check it out, everyone, as we are now. Similar to the really insane breakout of no, but with some upward momentum. But there hasn't yet been a wild breakout. Could that, however, be a sign? Could that be a sign that a breakout is imminent? If so, the lower high area is the one to watch for if there is resistance in a macro or more macro midterm to macro rally, because the 20-day moving average crossed above the 50-day in March, from March to April 20th, and boom, a lower high was formed at that trend line. That lower high is visible. The 20-week moving average, which was a resistance at this long-term trend line as it appeared on the weekly chart, is currently on a data set somewhere around 65. Simply call it at 65 to 70 cents in the direction of the top trend line. Big area of resistance if markets do rebound. That will be a really interesting and unusual place to follow, because these things don't happen frequently. You know, that was a special period when we were making charts back here, and we saw what occurred. We follow these things because it's a failure that will continue the bad market. We get hints from it. Not to foretell what will occur, though. In order to make sensible judgments in the here and now, it is important to foresee this and use visualization as a tool to place ourselves in various situations. That is the reason everyone does what they do. However, ADA now hinting at only a sustained climb along with markets. But given how tense things are, we must exercise extreme caution. Even the smallest movement, such as a domino effect, can cause markets to change. You know, it's like tomorrow at pre-trading hours on Amazon and Google, or it's just down or something. Markets will drop tomorrow. Traditional markets may go below 50 cents very fast, test the daily average at 47 cents, and then we'll be watching to see whether it can maintain support. As a result, we must constantly monitor it and be extremely watchful and careful to not get ahead of ourselves. You all are doing it right now. Please let me know how you're faring. Everything will work out okay. I am conscious of the VASIL hard forks delay. It is a delay. However, it's only a delay. Additionally, I'm not like, hey, keep it positive is something I'm instructed to do or even encouraged to do. That is not how it is. I'm telling you straight out because I know there are folks out there thinking, man, Dan, what does Dan work for? Cardano? Is Dan employed by IO? I do not, HK. Just my own opinion. As a financier. Just like humans are more important than these stuff. They claim to. Right? These holdups. Examine a hypothesis. So far, there have been 6 delays or reschedules. because of the merger. I look, and it's not like the price is collapsing. Ethereum is currently doing somewhat better than Cardano at the moment. Therefore, it is not as significant. However, the improvement is significant. It will enable developers to work on the network and install dApps, among other things, as a result. It's a major event. This news is quite bullish. A little delay good news for everyone. So, persevere. Hold your head high. Get outside. Inhale the clean air. God is merciful. In the next video, I'll see you. Have a fantastic day. God's grace.